What's up guys, it's me Joe Mama here and welcome to episode 22 of phase 1 of the project Overunner. In this episode we are going to be finally making health bars and also allowing everything that previously should do damage like hitting barrels, walls or ledges actually do said damage. So the first thing I did was create this canvas and then I created this panel in here. This panel is going to house every in-game UI I have, so yeah, that's all good. So now I created this health bar. I know it looks really simple, but don't worry, that's by design. I am now going to create and add this player stat script to my player. As you can see, this script contains a few variables like max health, current health, and the health slider, but it is still an early draft. So I'm going to go ahead and modify my scripts to allow hitting objects to lead to a loss of health. Alright, that's been done, so let's now test this using this barrel right here. For now, it's the only thing that can actually damage you. Alright, that works. I lost a bit of health when I hit the barrel, that is perfect. So let's go to the next phase, and that's making sure my character is able to take damage from other obstacles in the game. For instance, this cube right here, but I want to do something a bit different. I want the damage my character takes to increase depending on the speed by which he hits the cube. All obstacles will follow the same pattern except the barrels. I think the barrels will do the exact amount of damage every time. At least for now, that could change in the future. I don't know. So I'm going to modify my script to ensure that these obstacles damage my character. So that's done now, and we are going to now test it out to see if it works. As you can see, my character's current health is 50. So let's see what happens when I hit the cube at high speeds. As you can see, after I hit the cube at high speed, I lose 20 health. But now, when I hit the cubes at low speeds, I lose only 10 health. This is great, this is very great, but it's not over yet, because we are now going to be setting up damage for the environmental hazards. The first power up or hazard we're going to look at now is the fire hazard, the one that deals damage over time whenever you activate it. So I'm going to go ahead and modify my script to allow this fire hazard to deal damage. Alright, that's done, so now let's test it out. Okay, so it works. As you can see, the damage is being dealt to me over time after I hit the hazard. If you're wondering just how much damage was dealt, it's 2.5 damage every second for 10 seconds for a total of 25 damage. 10 more than when you hit an obstacle at full speed because, sorry, was that 5? Yeah, 5 more than when you hit an obstacle at full speed because I wanted that to be the whole point of the fire hazard. It deals the most damage overall, but that damage will take time to fully impact you. So let's move on to the next environmental hazard, which is barely even a status effect since all it just does is a burst of damage. Around 20 damage more than what obstacles do, but less than what fire hazard does. So I'm going to go ahead and modify my script to allow the explosive hazard to deal damage, or the bomb to deal damage. Alright, this is done. So let's check it out. Wow.
Now that's a lot of damage!
And that's exactly how I like it. So now let's move on to the final environmental hazard, the thunder hazard. The thunder hazard does a slight deal of damage over time, but I want it to be less than obstacles, and also explosives and also fire. So let's say about 5. So I'm going to modify my script to ensure that thunder hazards does some damage over time. Alright, that's done, so let's test it out. Okay, yes, it is in fact done. As you can see, the hazard deals a bit of damage over time very slightly just as God intended. So that's it, guys. That's all the things that can damage you in this game right now. Of course, more might be added in the future. Speaking of the future, I was meant to create the opposite of environmental hazards, that's power-ups, in the next episode, but instead I'm going to create a small episode on the player stats script. This way I can showcase all of the current and future stats that the player will use. I'm gonna do this because this idea has been in my head for a while, so I'm really excited to show it to you guys, even if I won't be using most of them for a while. So that's it for this video, guys. Thank you very much for watching. I am really happy that you have followed me through this journey for this long. As we get closer and closer to completing phase 1, I want to thank you for staying with me all this time. I really appreciate it. Please check out my Patreon, as it's the only way to help me out financially. I really appreciate any help I can get. Nothing is too small and nothing is too big, as you also get a lot of perks and bonuses like character models, tutorials, animations, website links, early access, and so on, and so much more, including a chance to get your very own cameo in the game. So once again, thank you very much for watching, guys. God be with you, aka goodbye. Yes, that's what that means. And I will see you in the next one.